Now today I thought I'd do a bit of a fun royal piece. Why not? Because it's a nice day, the weather and the sun is out there. Summer has finally arrived and it is birthday bonanza time. Last week it was the King's official birthday and we had Trooping the Colour with all the pomp and ceremony, and Princess Catherine made a welcome appearance. This week Prince William celebrated his 42nd birthday, although how much fun he was really having is debatable given the things his family have been through over the last 5 years, and in particular this year with his wife and father both ill with cancer. Yet, as part of the British working royal family, they have soldiered on in true British style. Keep calm and carry on, even if all hell is breaking loose around you. And on Friday night, a beaming Prince William was seen doing a bit of dad dancing at the Taylor Swift concert. Look away, kids, look away. And Taylor shared a snap on her Instagram of her posing with William, George and Charlotte. I don't get it. I don't get the Swift appeal, but all credit to her. She creates wealth wherever she goes. I think one estimate was over £400 million spent by her fans in the UK since her concert began. Quite impressive, and that figure is probably way off now. The woman knows how to market her stuff, even if I find her music a bit middle of the road and mediocre. She's a wealth creator, a billionaire, so I say go girl. Unlike our faux royal worldwide tour privacy tours across the pond, Meghan and Harry, who have brought little else to their families other than misery. Today I read about poor Thomas Markle, who talked about being markled, which has come to mean when you get dumped for no reason. He's also celebrating his birthday in a couple of weeks too, and he was calling on Meghan to reach out to him. He's recovering from a serious stroke which left him unable to talk properly for quite some time, and he's doing a lot better now and will be turning 80. Now, of course, he suffered a double heart attack before Meghan and Harry's wedding, so couldn't go, and they haven't spoken to him ever since. He hasn't even met any of their grandchildren or Prince Harry. There was apparently an incident with some photos which now pales into insignificance when you consider the behaviour of the Duke and Duchess of Montecito. They spilled their guts on Oprah, where they coined the phrase "your truth," which I think seems to mean you believe it's true, so it is true. The late Queen went to her grave with an accusation of racism hovering over the family. We've had documentaries, books, a podcast, all complaining about how badly they've been treated. Now we've got faux royal tours, jams and dog biscuits. It's just one thing after another. But underneath it all is an undertone. Whilst Harry has been to see his father after his diagnosis of cancer, that is, of course, the King's diagnosis, the same cannot be said about Meghan Markle and hers. Their children are being denied the opportunity to get there to know their in-laws. This won't bode well when they get older. I doubt they'll thank their parents for that. Thomas Markle is begging for Meghan to get in touch with him as a birthday present. If there ever was a time to improve your PR, Meghan, this is it. Wish happy birthday to your father, for goodness sake, before it's too late.
Let me ask you something. How many times does a woman have to forgive before she finally says enough? How many betrayals? How many sold-out interviews? How many fake tears and tabloid headlines does it take before the world finally stops blaming Meghan Markle for the actions of everyone around her? Because once again the media is pulling the same tired playbook. They want you to feel sorry for Thomas Markle. They want to sell you an image of an old man in the Philippines, tired, alone, sitting in the heat, while painting Meghan as some cold-hearted daughter who turned her back on him. But let me tell you right now, this is not a story about abandonment. This is a story about boundaries. This is a story about survival. This is about a woman who rose above betrayal, abuse, and a global smear campaign, and still found the strength to build a loving home with Prince Harry and raise 2 beautiful children in peace. So if you're here to hear the truth, not the tabloid trash, you've come to the right place. This is Royal Sussex Squad, where we stand up for Harry and Meghan, where we call out the liars, the manipulators, and the so-called royal experts who make a living off hate. We bring the facts, we bring the fire, and we don't back down. Buckle up, because today we're taking the mask off the latest Thomas Markle sob story and shining a spotlight on the truth they don't want you to see. You know, there comes a time when we have to stop and ask ourselves, how many times is Meghan Markle going to be punished for protecting her peace? Because here we are again. Another round of tabloid hysteria, Another exclusive story designed to paint her as cold-hearted and ungrateful. This time it's her father, Thomas Markle Sr., front and centre once again, dragged out by the media like a tragic puppet of pity, while Meghan, the daughter he betrayed over and over again, is left to be painted as the villain. I mean, really, how many times are we going to do this? Let's talk about what's really going on. Thomas Markle Sr., now 80 years old, has relocated to Cebu in the Philippines. The tabloids can't stop talking about how he's struggling, how he's sitting outside a supermarket in the sweltering heat, how he's walking with a stick down uneven roads, how he's far from his grandchildren. And they're acting like Meghan is somehow responsible for all of it, like it's her job to swoop in and fix everything for a man who sold her out the moment she became a duchess. Let's not forget who this man is. Let's not forget what he's done. This is the same Thomas Markle who conspired with the paparazzi to stage fake photos before Meghan's wedding. The same man who claimed he was too ill to walk his daughter down the aisle, only to pop up in paid interviews days later. The same man who sold private letters Meghan wrote him, begging for peace, to a British tabloid. He weaponized her words, her pain, her privacy. And now, years later, we're supposed to believe he's the victim? Absolutely not. Meghan has shown more grace and patience than most people ever could, and still they want to act like she's the one in the wrong. The audacity, the sheer cruelty of the media's obsession with guilt-tripping a woman who has simply set boundaries. Healthy, necessary, overdue boundaries. And now the latest news is that Thomas is living in a £500 a month apartment in Cebu, that he's struggling to adjust, that it's hot and humid, and that he's still finding his feet. Well, guess what? He chose to move there. In fact, he said it himself. He wanted peace. He wanted a quieter, more respectful life. He said the people in Southeast Asia are kind, that the food is healthy, that the medical care is good. So what's really going on here? This isn't about concern for an elderly man. This is about using him, again, as a weapon against Meghan. It's strategic, it's calculated, and it's cruel. And oh, isn't it interesting that this all gets splashed across the media right after Meghan posts a heartfelt message celebrating Archie's 6th birthday? A beautiful silhouette of her son against a glowing sunset. That moment was hers. That moment was for her family. And yet, instead of celebrating her love and motherhood, the press ran straight to the same old narrative. Where's Thomas Markle? Why isn't Meghan reaching out? Let me ask you something. Where was Thomas Markle during all those milestones in her life? Where was his support when Meghan was being hounded by the British press? When she was pregnant and suicidal? When she and Harry were being driven out of the UK for their own safety? He wasn't there. He chose to talk to the Daily Mail, not his daughter. And let's not even get started on Thomas Jr., Meghan's half-brother, who's now in the Philippines, supposedly looking after their father. The same Thomas Jr. who wrote a letter to Prince Harry telling him not to marry Meghan. The same man who went on television to attack her. Now he's playing caretaker. Please, spare us the fairy tale. These people are not innocent. They are not helpless victims of a daughter's ambition. They are architects of their own estrangement. Meghan didn't cut off her family for no reason. She drew a line in the sand because she was forced to, because time and time again they showed her that their loyalty was for sale, that they would rather profit off her pain than protect her privacy. And we should be applauding her for that. Setting boundaries is not cruelty, it is self-respect. And let's be clear, just because someone shares your DNA doesn't mean they get a lifetime pass to mistreat you. Meghan is building a life that is rooted in love, in peace, in integrity. She and Harry are raising their children away from the toxicity that nearly destroyed them. And yet the press still wants to make her responsible for the emotional well-being of the very people who threw her to the wolves. It's exhausting, it's manipulative, and it needs to stop, because what this is really about is control. The press doesn't like that Meghan can't be shamed into submission. They don't like that she isn't calling up her father for a photo op, that she isn't crying on camera and begging for public forgiveness. She's not playing their game, and that drives them mad. But you know what drives us, the Royal Sussex squad? Truth, justice, loyalty, and a commitment to standing up for a woman who has been relentlessly attacked, simply for being strong enough to walk away from dysfunction. So let them keep publishing their sad dad stories. Let them wring their hands and cry crocodile tears, because we see through it. We know the truth, and we are not falling for it anymore. Meghan is not heartless. She is not cruel. She is not cold. She is healed. She is healing. She is holding her family close and protecting her peace, and that is powerful. Thomas Markle struggling after leaving US as Meghan's brother moves in with their father. The Duchess of Sussex's father is yet to meet his two grandchildren. Thomas Markle Sr., the estranged father of the Duchess of Sussex, is currently living in a £500 a month high-rise flat on the densely populated island of Cebu in the Philippines. The 80-year-old former Hollywood lighting director now resides more than 7,000 miles away from Meghan, Prince Harry, and his grandchildren Archie and Lilibet. Recent pictures show Thomas Sr. sitting alone in blistering heat outside a supermarket near his new home. He was photographed the day after his grandson Archie's 6th birthday, which he missed. Thomas Markle is now living in the Philippines. Far from his estranged daughter, Thomas Sr. is being cared for by Meghan's older half-brother, Thomas Jr., 58, as he adjusts to life in his new tropical home. The octogenarian has suffered 2 heart attacks and a stroke in recent years, and now faces the challenge of Cebu's punishing climate. Temperatures this week reached 33°C, with humidity levels approaching 90%. There are only 2 types of weather in Cebu, hot and humid and raining. It's brutal even for men half his age, but it's still sad to see him looking as though he's struggling, a source told the Mirror. The regional Emmy Award winner has been spotted using a walking stick to navigate the area's uneven roads and paths. Many of these routes are affected by constant traffic and the unforgiving climate. Thomas Sr. and his son only recently moved into the property after previously staying in a 3-star hotel on Cebu. Markle is reportedly struggling with the Southeast Asian nation's punishing. Thomas and his son only recently moved into the property and they are still finding their feet in Cebu after the big move abroad, but they're here together and are firmly supporting each other, the source added. Prior to relocating to the Philippines, Thomas Sr. had spent the past decade living in a beachside bungalow in Rosarito, Mexico. His former home was only around 250 miles from the Sussex's residence in Montecito, California. The move came after boxes of Thomas's belongings arrived on the island, including prized family photo albums featuring Meghan. Despite its humble location, yards from a busy 7-lane main road, the apartment block is considered grand by many in the Philippines, where the average wage is just over £7,000 a year. Cebu has a population of more than 3 million, with some 900,000 residents living below the poverty line. Markle is staying with his son and Meghan's half-brother, Thomas Jr. On Tuesday, Meghan posted a photo of Archie with a message wishing her sweet boy a happy 6th birthday. The image, showing the youngster silhouetted against a bright sunset, was reportedly taken in Mexico, speaking in January when he revealed his plans to relocate to Southeast Asia. Thomas Sr. said, "I travelled in that part of the world when I was a younger man. The people are so kind and welcoming, and they are respectful to older people. It is a place of culture and beauty. At 80 it is time to go somewhere where the people are lovely, and I can enjoy a quieter, friendlier existence," he added. Thomas explained his priorities. In Southeast Asia, the medical care is good, you can live reasonably cheaply, the people are kind and respect older people, and the food is healthy. Mostly I just want peace. At 80, none of us know how long we have left. I want whatever time I have to be peaceful, with none of the awful drama of recent years. She's shown the world that you don't have to be a prisoner to toxic family dynamics, that you can break the cycle, that you can choose love, even if it means walking away from people who only ever chose themselves. So, to every headline trying to guilt-trip Meghan, to every so-called royal expert wringing their hands and asking, "But what about Thomas Markle?" we say this: what about Meghan? What about her peace? What about her right to live free from manipulation? She has earned that. She deserves that. And she's not going to apologise for it. And neither should you. If this moved you, if you're tired of the smear campaigns, if you're tired of watching this beautiful couple, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan, be used as tabloid punching bags for daring to stand in their truth, then this is the place for you. You are not alone. This is Royal Sussex Squad, and we are about truth, integrity, and standing up for what's right. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Smash that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you want to help us keep shining the light on the truth and keeping the receipts ready, hit that super thanks button. Your support keeps this show going and growing, because in a world full of noise and nonsense, we choose clarity. We choose truth. We choose Harry and Meghan, and we're not going anywhere.